Hi everyone, today I've been making some handmade flowers and I thought I'd share that process with you. So these are some of the flowers that I've been making, a little bit like the Prima roses, and this one has been glittered at the edges, and there's just a few other colours. They've all been glimmer misted, so this one used the suede colour glimmer mist, this one used the twilight, and this one is the creme de chocolate, and this one here is the sand colour. And they all use the Tim Holtz Tattered Florals dye. So this is the dye, as you can see, and they use 2 of this petal here and 2 of the small petal as well. And the paper that they're cut from is this here, which is a handmade mulberry paper, and it's thicker than the tissue type paper, and it's got one side that is quite textured and then the other side is a little plainer, and that's what I've been using for the top side with a little less texture. So what you would need is 2 of the larger petals, and these have been glimmer misted in the chalkboard glimmer mist in the charcoal colour. So it's this one here. And you also need 2 of the smaller petal, and then for the centrepiece I used a small mulberry paper rose, which I've also coloured, and the size of this is, it's 12mm, and this one it's on the wire. Okay, so the first thing I did was to take, I'm using an embossing tool, but you could use anything that's long and thin, to curl over the petals, and I'm curling them on one side of the petal underneath, then turning it around and then curling the opposite side also underneath, so you're getting almost a point there. So I'm just going to go around and do all of those. And it does need to be something quite thin for this, which is why the embossing tool is ideal. The end of a paintbrush may be okay, it's a little bit thicker, so you're going to get a slightly different effect. Okay, and then when you've gone round and done all of the petals, you then want to just use your finger and thumb just to pinch them together so it becomes a little bit more pointed, and I'm using my thumb just to press down on that as well, so it's sort of just pinching it, so you end up with that kind of shape, and very black fingers. Okay, so you need to do that with all 4 petals, and I do have some in a different colour that have already been done. So these 2 will form the base there. So I'm going to use some glossy accents to put those together. Just hold that down. Then for the 2 smaller petals, you'll see that the one here is slightly more shaped, and how I've achieved that, I used, this is a Pergamano embossing mat, which means it's softer than obviously your hard work surface, so there's a little bit of give in it. And this is actually a tool that is meant for making flowers, but it is almost like an embossing tool but with a very thick end on it. And what you need to do is just to use a circular motion on the very centre of the flower, and it breaks the tension in the paper and the petals around it start to curl up. So you can see there's some lift in those, and if you want a lot of lift then you can just use your fingers to manipulate them and then go back in with the tool again. So I don't want that one with quite as much lift as the very centrepiece, so I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to now glue this one into place with glossy accents again. and then the piece where the petals are more raised. So just use your fingers to manipulate that however you want. And then the last part is the centre rose, and I'm just going to cut the wire back. You don't want to cut the wire completely off because that's what's holding the petals together on these little handmade ones. So you can see I've left a little bit of that there, and I'm going to put the glossy accents on the bottom, making sure I'm going over the wire part so that it's not going to fall apart. And there's the finished flower, and this one uses Vanilla Breeze. And for the glittered part on the edges, what I did is to use two different products for that. I used the Twinklets Diamond Dust, which is quite large particles, and I also mixed it with some Crystal Colour Ultrafine Glitter by Art Institute. So I mixed those two together in just a small pot that I had. So that's the product that I've been using, and then again using glossy accents just on the very tips of the outer petals, the two larger petals that you cut, a little bit of the glossy accents on each. And then just tip some of the glitter mixture over those petals. And then just flick off the excess. And there's one with the glitter. Looks a little bit milky when you first do it because you need to wait for the glossy accents to dry, and then it goes clear. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that. I hope it's going to be useful to somebody. And thanks for watching. Bye.